with 32 years of experience is speaking to all of us.
Okay, so thanks for that great introduction. Okay, so it's a pleasure to have all of you here, and as it happens, that more people will be joining, and in a short time. So till the time everyone joins in, let me introduce myself, and also let me ask you some questions. So we have around, can you answer this question? Which industry you belong to? Okay, thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah, thanks you. So I can see that around we have got people from education sector today. Okay, quite a few, manufacturing as well, and we have got healthcare. Okay, healthcare is also there. Okay, I'll try to balance the examples. Now let me go to the second one. Okay, which department you belong to? Okay, thank you. So this is my agenda today. I'll introduce you to the company, then I'll also give my introduction. Then after that, I will tell you Six Sigma benefits. And then after that, we will introduce you to the Six Sigma. Then also we'll learn DMAG. DMAG is something which you should not miss out. If you claim that you are a yellow belt, you should know DMAG and some tools and techniques. Now, as a yellow belt, you don't have to apply these tools and techniques. You should have a knowledge, but you're not expected to do a project. You still can do the project. No one is stopping you. But green belts and black belts are actually, expected to do improvement projects. And you would have got enough practice also. As a green belt, you would get law of factors to solve your problem. So today you are going to be subjected to some information, information, lot of information in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, right? 2.5 hours will be given a lot of information. So as people are joining in, it happens, slowly people will build up. Some people join little 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. So till the time, let me introduce myself and also introduce you to the organization also. And before I play this video, let me, this is, we have been operating for the last 17, 18 years now, and since 2006, and trained more than 150,000 people. In fact, now it's crossing 170,000 people, and worldwide, in various parts of the world. I'm a chemical engineer and have 32 years ago, 1990, I graduated. Those days I used to work very hard. I wanted to earn a lot of money, but I was not working smart. Working hard and working smart is different. And one fine day, the company for which I was working, they told that, they are going to nominate some of the best people in our company. Top 10 people will be chosen to select a to become black belts, Lean Six Sigma black belts. And I thought I was one of those, uh, you know, one of those uh, top performers, top 10 performers. Unfortunately, the company did not think so. So they did not nominate me, uh, but what happened then? In fact, but the good point was that these people, when they, who got trained as a black belt, they did some wonderful projects. They made a positive impact on the organization, and then I thought, this is something good to have, and I waited for the next batch, but it never happened. So then I invested my own money and found a place. It was not, this is green belt training, black belt trainings were not happening quite often. I'm talking about year 2000. And so I had to search for it. I traveled to distant places, and finally, I ended up investing a lot of money, and then I also became a black belt. And by the way, I kept adding a lot of certifications. As I said before you today, I am a master black belt and data scientist also, PPMP, CPHQ, around 32, rather 33 years of experience. If you add this year also, so 33 years of experience, and consulted for more than 200 organizations, including Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies, and also, done lots of trainings, 1,000 projects, more than that I've guided. And my team has guided more than 15,000 projects, 15 to 20,000 projects in various domains. And I've been invited as speakers to various conferences and all that stuff. And I'm also co-chair of IT Express Committee of Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce. Presently, I'm in Dubai right now. I'm sitting in Dubai. I can show you the Burj Khalifa also from here. Maybe towards the end, when we would have learned a lot of tools, I will show you. Okay, then why I'm telling you all these things? Because I believe that you can also achieve all these things. Okay, and you can achieve much more. You're going to learn not only from my experience, but also from the experience of my students. Over the last 33 years, I've been conducting training programs. So whatever they have taught me, and today they are at various good, nice positions. So they keep telling me about what's happening in the street. Some of as people are still joining in, let me show some nice photographs to you that I have done the training program worldwide. It's a proof, right? This is my first batch in 2007 and 8, like December 7, or you can say 8, we completed the training. I always take pride in telling that I was the first person to conduct a black belt training session anywhere in Gulf, anywhere in Middle East, the first time. Incidentally, it was a doctor's team, doctors and nurses in Riyadh. Yeah. And then, of course, and this is Switzerland. This is again team of engineers, team of doctors, team of chartered accountants. It's like, this is shipping company, this is a pharmacy company, won lots of awards and various forums. And yeah, so just wanted to tell you that you have come to the right place, and people are still joining. Those who are still joined just now, don't worry. We have not started learning the tools. I just told you the agenda. It's in the first 5-10 minutes. And the last 5 minutes, I've been introducing myself, so don't worry.
Hi, I'm Shekhar Suman, and I wish to congratulate all the Six Sigma certified black belt from Anexas. All the best.
So I also appeared in TV shows. I had a lot of fun on the Z Business Show. Then you have got quality conferences of ASQ.
On 21st of May 2019, I'm going to speak in American Society.
So there's a lot of things,
So see you there.
Railways, refineries. It's an honor to have railways as our clients. So lots of videos to prove that I have done lots of trainings around the world, a lot of articles in different newspapers, Gulf News, Times of India, Dainik Bhaskar in India. By the way, my Hindi Hindi training is also available on YouTube. Hindi Green Belt training. If you're interested, just go to Anexas and Anexa YouTube channel and click the subscribe button, and you will get access to lots of training programs. Yeah, and this training also is going live there. Okay. So now, I think now we have got lots of people, and after some time we will be closing the hall. And because now those people who will be joining after this, they may not understand, because now I'm going to start training, the tools and techniques training, and all tools are linked. Everything is linked together. So once again, welcome, and let me provide the formal welcome to everyone. Now let us formally start our training program. So this was the agenda I just showed in the beginning. Those who had missed out, I just showed that we'll be learning about what is Six Sigma. We'll be talking about DMAC. We'll be seeing some applications in the industry. And now, here we go. We'll start with a traditional welcome to all of you.
Hi, welcome to Anexas. Anexas has been consulting and training the professionals in the organizations around the world since 2006, and we have trained more than 150,000 people and consulted for more than 500 organizations, which includes Fortune 100 organizations too. I'm Amitabh Saxena, and I have designed this program based on my 30 years of experience while working in various industries across many domains. The whole Anexas team once again joins me in welcoming you.
Well, so once again, welcome. And as I was telling, I've already covered those introductory part. So now, let us start learning. Can you tell me one thing? What are the similarities you see here? What are the similar things you see here? Manufacturing company improves production by 30%. Hospital reduces discharge time of patients. 64% reduction in recruitment time. Hotel improves customer experience. Bank reduces errors. Insurance claims time reduced by 70%. What are the similarities? What are the similar things you see? Then you can write in the chat box. So, yeah, so yeah, Rula is telling improvements. Yes, you're right. Okay. Venkateshwar is telling time management. Okay, right. Faizan is telling improvements. Arsalan is telling improvements. Okay. Muhammad is telling improvement. Yeah, so almost Isida Baha is telling reducing waste. Okay, Dr. Baha, you're right. It's also, it appears that you are aware of certain tools and techniques. And Arsalan is also telling reductions of. So Iqbal Sheikh, Jain, Janavi, Jaideep. Oh, I cannot read the hundreds of people here. So thanks a lot. Actually, you're for responding, and almost all of you are right. One more thing is that they have all used Lean and Six Sigma projects to improve the processes. So what is Lean and Six Sigma? Lean and Six Sigma is a technique which has been used by multiple organizations. These are some of our, very few of our clients. We have got 500 more than very well-known companies around the world, right from Walt Disney to Warner Brothers to Ferrari World to the best 10 hospitals in the Middle East, Japanese hospitals, Indian hospitals, Chinese hospitals, and shipping companies, the biggest shipping company of the world, the biggest pharmaceutical company of the world. All they are all clients. And what have they achieved? They have achieved reduction in cost, defects, waste, rework, cycle time, and improvement in quality, production efficiency, productivity, customer satisfaction, and capacity, and profitability. So all improvements in quality, efficiency, reduction of defects, errors. Now, which CEO will not like to have a person on board who can achieve all these things? So everyone loves the green belts and black belts. So today you are going to become yellow belts, but as a green belt, you can even So let me tell you the history. Let me talk about the history of Six Sigma. By the way, when you join my sessions, green belt and black belt sessions, you get all the recordings. Okay, you get all the recordings.
Improvement opportunities and converting these improvement opportunities.
Who are green belts and black belts? So someone from my team can answer the Kaustubh's question. You are asking about, will you get the certificate? Yes, you can get the certificate. I'll tell you how to get the certificates towards the end. So I will request everyone to please park your administration related questions for towards the end, after 2.5 hours. Once you attend the session, you'll be eligible to get the certificate, and I'll tell you how to get your certificate as well after a while. Okay, so once again,
Six Sigma green belts and black belts are those individuals who can do improvement projects in the organization by choosing improvement opportunities and converting these improvement opportunities into
what
projects.
a green belt is doing? Green belt is converting the improvement opportunities into projects. So project, what is the basic definition of a project? Project has a starting point and project has an end point. Okay. So someone is asking, will I get these videos? Yes, these videos. In fact, this whole program is being recorded. All my trainings are recorded, and after that you will get. If you attend my training, you will always get forever. You'll get the access anytime. Yes. So I would request everyone to park your administration-related questions. After 2 hours, I'll be happy to answer them. But right now, let us focus on learning. So. Everyone, for those who are asking video recordings, all videos are available. Also, please subscribe to my channel. You will get many more videos, on different topics, CPHQ topics. As I told you in the beginning, this whole program, or Lean and Six Sigma Green Belt, full program in Hindi is also there available, and in English, bits and pieces of the tools and techniques is available. So feel free to subscribe to the channel and get access to those videos. I hope this is clear. Yeah, thank you. I hope I answered your questions. Okay, coming back. Yes, let us focus on learning. As I told, tools, techniques. Now what we are doing, we are selecting projects and assigning these to green belts or black. Green belts are the people who know around 100 tools, and black belts are knowing additional 50 tools, and they are able to improve any process in any industry. Okay, so that is the basic definition of a green belt or a black belt. And so you're asking how many days? 3 days of green belt. But this 3 days is like a compact, power-packed 3 days. Actually, it is 6 days, but we made 3 days. Like this yellow belt training is actually 1 day training, but we have made it 2.5 days, eliminating all the wastes from the system, using videos, using techniques. See, sometimes videos, I can explain things in a better way because I've got visuals with me, right? So I hope you got the point. Green belts are the people who are assigned projects. Say, for example, someone can be assigned improving the productivity from 85% to 88%. Finance person can take up a project to reduce the errors, the accounting errors, from 1% to 0.1%. Some customer service executive can take up a project to reduce the customer service related complaints from 10 per day to 2 per day. These are examples of projects. Project has a starting point, project has an end point. Now, how it started in Motorola. Would you be interested in knowing the history of Six Sigma? Let me ask you, would you like to be interested in how it started? Okay, so Aslan, Noor, Mohammed, Sirajuddin, Satya, every time saying, okay, so let us see.
It all started in Motorola when Bob Galvin, the CEO, took a challenge saying that I would like to improve everything by 5 times in the organization. And he was told about some statistical tools and techniques which Bill Smith and Michael Harry were using to improve the processes. Bob Galvin was so much impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing, he told them to develop a methodology which, if applied to the organizational processes, can improve the processes. So he was particularly impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing. They were choosing improvement projects. Now, what is the definition? As I told you, definition of a project is it has a starting point, it has an end point, it doesn't exist after some time. So Bill Smith and Michael Harry would translate the improvement opportunities in the organization to projects, and applying tools and techniques of statistics, they would find the root causes of the problem, and then after solving the root causes of the problem would impact the organizational bottom line. Both of them developed Six Sigma DMAC methodology. They started training the green belts and black belts. Green belts and black belts were the people who could fight all the quality related problems in the organizations. Six Sigma brought in a lot of benefits for Motorola, and it also won Malcolm Baldrige Award in 1988. Jack Welch of GE was so much impressed with this methodology that he told his employees that you would not be promoted if you are not a green belt. So everyone wanted to be a green belt, everyone started doing projects. Then GE started telling their vendors and suppliers that if you want to have business from GE, you need to implement Six Sigma. So vendors also started asking what is Six Sigma, and GE would say that we will send our master black belts and train you in this methodology. So in this manner, Lean Six Sigma spread out around the world, and today almost 80% of the Fortune 100 companies and many, many more companies around the world have implemented Six Sigma and Lean. Lean started in
Toyota. I'll not be explaining the history of Lean, how it started, and the concept of flow I have described in one of the YouTube videos, 15-18-minute videos. Definitely you should watch, definitely. Now, there is not enough time to explain the things in detail, but that is a portion of my green belt training. I will advise if my team can do that, the flow, concept of flow, which I have explained in Toyota, if they can put it in the chat box. And also later on, you can send it to them by email as well. So you can watch that video, the history, like it will take a long time. So let us talk about the tools and techniques. And I hope, I see Shubhangi had already, she knew that it started in Motorola. Yeah, Shubhangi, tumhala mahit hota. Barobar. Okay, so now, so this was history. Now let us look at what is Six Sigma, what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. Actually, Lean and Six Sigma is a combination. Lean is about reducing the waste in the process, and Six Sigma is about reducing the variation in the process. Reducing the waste means, first you identify the value. What is the value customer is looking at in your product or service? See, you are providing either a product or a service. Okay. And if I make a systems map of a process, let us see, how our system works. This is actually, let's say, I'm drawing the system map of any typical organization. Think of your organization and you can correlate it with this. So you have got multiple processes, or let's say, to make it a little easy, this is a process. Step number 1, A, B, C, D. And the series of steps delivers a product. Yeah. Usually it's a product or a service. So I can write it as I can just write it as an output. Output could be either a product or it could be a service. Okay. And it goes to the customer. It goes to the customer. Okay, customer. Customer will give feedback to your planning team or the strategy team. Strategic team or planning team of your organization. Give feedback, customer gives the feedback, or you can predict the demand of your products or services, how much the customer is going to ask for. And you can plan accordingly and tell your suppliers to provide you with the inputs, which will be processed through the series of steps to produce an output, which will go to the customer. Customer will give the feedback, and then our planning team will create a plan, a beautiful plan to satisfy the customer and inform the different departments and process steps about the new operating procedure so that customer is happy. Okay. Yahoo! That is how, see, if you do all these things, and all these things are continuously happening, there is a flow in the process, we will say that, yes, great. My system is healthy. I have made a systems map. This is known as systems map. Edward Deming. Systems map. Edward Deming gave us this map. Systems map. Also known as value stream map. Very more popular name is value stream map. How the value is created in the organization. How the value is created in the organization. Now this product or the service. Okay, Muhammad Sajid is telling hi from Saudi Arabia. Hi, Muhammad, yes. Yes. Meher is asking, can we have the PDF? You have the full recording of this. You've got the full recording of this whole program. Okay, great. So, product or service, output is either a product or a service. There is no third kind of output. Think of your organization, right? And some of the measures on the product or service, we call, in Six Sigma, we call it CTQs. Critical to quality measures. Typical CTQs which are present for all products or services are time. Then time, everyone is interested in time, right? Then errors. How many errors you are making in your service or the product, or how much time you are taking to complete the service of the product. And the cost. These three are always there. Plus something more will be there, like if you are producing chocolates, so weight of the chocolate. If you are producing petroleum, then maybe the boiling point of the petroleum, right? Whatever product it is, or impurities. If you are in a hospital, so your patient satisfaction index, or what your waiting time, again, time relates to time again, or mortality rates, infection rates, and all these things. So they are all typically defined for any kind of output. These are measures. What is CTQ? Critical to quality, CTQ. Mohammed Al-Natur is telling, when did you start? It just started around, actually we started around half an hour ago, but first 10 minutes we are introducing each other. So you have not missed out on much. We have just started. We have not started learning the DMAG, the real part of it. We have just introduced you to the basics of process management, the systems map. We just created a systems map. Value stream map. How the value is created in the organization. Now, if there is a flow, continuous flow, system is healthy. Like, when I'm breathing normally, I'm healthy. But when I'm unhealthy, my breathing gets interrupted. It will be fast. It will be like a lot of interruptions will be there. That means something is wrong. Health-wise, something is wrong. Similarly, if the material, information, customer feedback, everything is flowing smoothly without any interruptions, system is healthy. But as soon as there are interruptions, C is fast, D is slow. There's a waiting time. Customer demand is high, my production capacity is low, there is waiting time. If customer's demand is low and you are producing more, there is an inventory. These are known as wastes in the system. Mr. B is committing a lot of mistakes. It is increasing unnecessarily constraint of the process. So we will identify where are the issues in my process, identify the projects, and we will do our projects and improve our process. And we can do multiple projects. I can train 10 green belts and I will assign 10 projects to them. Problem number 1 goes to you, problem number 2 goes to someone else, problem number 3. A lot of issues in the whole system, lots of issues, a lot of flow is getting stuck, a lot of constraints in the system. So you choose the projects and assign these to green belts and belts. Now let us come back to this. So first you have to think about the value, what the customer is valuing. What is the value to the customer? What you're providing? And when you are providing the value, to provide that value, you have a process. But in the whole system, there will be lots of waste, waiting time, unnecessary transportation, over processing, inventory, rework, lot of waste in the process. You have to identify the waste. How? By going and looking at the process steps. We call it the Gemba investigation. Gemba means go to the field, go see for yourself, go to the battleground and see what's going on. Yeah, go to the place of action. That's Gemba is a Japanese word. So using Gemba, you identify the wastes. And towards the end, maybe, right now I'm introducing to what is Lean and what is Six Sigma. Towards the end, last 20 minutes or so, if time permits, I will give some examples of waste. I see a lot of people from healthcare. And let me ask this question one more time, because a lot of people have just joined in. Can I restart the poll? Is it possible to have the poll one more time? Because a lot of people have joined very late, so I cannot get this. So doesn't matter. I will tell my team in case they can do. Yes. So beginning poll. Yes, please. Can you answer this question? So accordingly, I will try to give the which area industry you are from. If you maximum people are from healthcare, I'll give healthcare examples. Or if a mix is there, I'll give examples which is which are understood by almost everyone. So I have 25% of the people from manufacturing and around 20% people from healthcare, and so construction also 15%, or it's a mixed batch. Okay. And now education is also there, but earlier in the beginning, I think all education people related to education has joined. So it was like too many people. Okay, so just click on the right button in the polls and I will get to know. Okay, thank you. So thanks for participating in the poll. And I know that now I have a mixed batch. Okay, so I will give mixed examples. No problems, doesn't matter. Okay, great. Okay, but yeah, people from manufacturing are a little bit more as compared to healthcare. So I'll balance the two. But I'll take a process which is true for both, like recruitment. So what I will do a recruitment project. I will try to solve a recruitment related issue in a company. Think of yourself that you are doing a project. And as a yellow belt, you are not, you don't have to practice any tools, but I will do this project for you in front of you so that you learn all the tools and techniques. So the first tool, first thing which we learned was Lean. So if you ask me to define Lean in 3 sentences, it is map the process as is by going to the field, that is doing a Gemba investigation, identifying the value and seeing whether in every step, is it adding value or not to the customer. Say, for example, today you are my customer. So what is the value? Value you are looking at is information, knowledge, isn't it, about tools and techniques. Now to deliver that knowledge, suppose I travel to your city and you come to the hotel. So traveling is waste. It's not adding any value, right? Or I'm booking a taxi, I'm waiting for the flight, sitting in the lounge, eating something. These are all non-value added activities from your perspective. You are interested in the value. What is the value? Knowledge. So think about what is the value from customer's perspective and eliminate all the steps which are not adding any value. Okay. And you'll be surprised to know that 70-80% of our time is wasted in non-value added activities. So doing that analysis, we fine tune our processes and do a as is process map first, then we do a should be process. So that is about Lean. And Six Sigma, very, very briefly, I'm introducing. After some time, we'll start learning about DMAC. Six Sigma is about reducing the variation in the process. So typically, you will find, let me expand this a little bit more, this particular, yeah. So for every process, every product or every service, I'm talking about every product or every service, customer will specify something. Say, if I take a simple example, I'm making chocolates, okay. Weight of the chocolate should be 100 grams plus minus 3 grams, let us say. Okay. Weight of the chocolate is 100 plus minus 3 grams. So my specification limits in terms of weight is lower specification limit is 97 grams and upper specification limit is 103 grams. Okay. So every process has got a lower specification limit and upper specification limit. Every product. Think of your product or service. Sometimes you only have upper specification limit. Sometimes you have lower specification limit. Like for example, errors. There is a lower specification limit. There's a higher specification limit. Waiting time, not more than 15 minutes, right? You have got upper specification limit. You should not breach that. Errors, you should not breach that. Upper specification limits, right? Blood pressure, you have got both lower and upper specification limits. So think of your own product and your own measure, your own CTQ, and you will find that, you have a lower and upper specification limits. Now that is known as voice of customer. The customer is selling, please give me 97 grams to 103 grams of chocolates on one package. But your process delivers, sometimes, the process doesn't listen to the customer. Process is an independent entity, right? Process is an independent entity. It doesn't listen to the customer. It listens to its own voice, its own capacity, how you have trained the people, how you maintain your machine, what kind of standard operating procedures you are following, what kind of rules and regulations you are applying to your whole system, what kinds of initiatives you have taken. All these determine what are the set points of your process parameters. All these things determine the output. And let us say your chocolates are between 94 to 106. This is how your process is behaving. This is voice of process. It may happen. So anything going beyond the customer specification limit, we call it as a defect. Anything going beyond the customer specification limit is known as defect. So idea is to reduce the defects. So in this case, if I reduce the variation, of my weight of the chocolates, I am less likely to produce the defects and my defect percentage will reduce drastically. So if I reduce the variation so much, make the process predictable and streamline it so that I don't go above the customer specification limit and I don't produce any defects, it is known as defect reduction methodology, which is known as Six Sigma, variation reduction. Some simple examples would be like you go to buy a car. And one particular model, you like one particular model, and then there are 10 cars of that model. Now, ideally, you can pick up any car, any model, right? But suppose the car showroom manager says, well, first one, brakes are a little better. Second one, headlights are of little good. Third one, same model has having so much of variation. You won't trust such a product. All the cars should be same. You go to McDonald's, McDonald's either in New York or London or Dubai or Bangalore or Karachi or Tokyo or Melbourne, wherever you go, you find them not much variation. People trust the companies which produce less variation in their products and services because they are predictable, right? But sometimes they are good, sometimes not good. No one likes such situations. Okay. So to implement Lean and Six Sigma, you have to put an infrastructure in place. So you are becoming a yellow belt. Yellow belts know about the basics, very basics of what is DMAC, what is Lean Six Sigma. And then green belts, they are aware of some tools and techniques. They can apply these tools and techniques. Now, today I'll become a green belt for you and I'll complete some project for you. As a yellow belt, you can watch. But if you are a green belt, if you come to my class, we do the project together. We apply these tools and techniques together. I'll give you the templates. I'll give the tools. I'll be using today Minitab software. I'll be giving you software also. I'll be giving you the data also. We do a project together in the class. And while learning the tool, we have to apply these tools and techniques to the real life situation also. Today, as I said, you'll watch, just watch. And the green belts are the people who undergo 3 days of training, and the black belts undergo 3 more days of training. And master black belts undergo 4 more days of training. And you become a full-fledged master black. And our company is one of the few companies which gives all the 3 certificates, all the 4. Or rather, there is one more, white belt. By the way, by now you are a white belt. You know basics of Six Sigma. I think in the next 10 minutes, you will become a white belt. Means you have got a very basic information about what is Lean Six Sigma. But now, by the end of 2.5 hours, you will become a yellow belt. A lot of tools, a lot of techniques. So let us start learning about DMAC. As I said, if you claim that you are a yellow belt, you should definitely know about DMAC. DMAC is about improving the process by following 5-phased approach: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So in define phase, you define the problem, form a team, and write a project charter. You also do a SIPOC. I'll talk about SIPOC in a while. In the measure phase, you collect the data to understand how well you are performing. In analyze phase, you analyze the root cause, why you are not performing the way you should be performing, root causes. Then in the improve phase, you attack those root causes, try to eliminate them, try to take care of those root causes. And after improvement, you go to the control phase. In the control phase, you try to sustain the gains after improving the process. So in the improve phase, you have improved performance of the process. And in the control phase, you will sustain. Let's take a day-to-day life example. Suppose I want to reduce my weight. Okay, my weight, right? Specification limit set by my doctor is I should be around 68 kgs plus minus whatever 3 kgs. Yeah, these are specification limits set by the doctor. This is the specification, voice of customer. If I make it here, so it is like 65 to 71. Yeah, but the voice of process, my voice of process. If I measure my weight, so let's say, so here I'll say, I'll define my problem that I am a little overweight. And now my weight is around 82 kgs, right? Now I would 82 kgs. Okay. Kaustubh is telling that, can I explain 5S? Kaustubh, just wait. तुम्हाला मी 5S चा व्हिडिओ पाठवलं तर बरोबर का? पाठवला तर बरोबर? Because I don't have the video right now. Sorry, I don't have the time to explain all the tools in detail, but I will send you the video. Okay, I'll send you the video of 5S. And not only to you, to everyone. Okay, so it will be better. So fine. So 82 is my weight. Now I'll make a problem statement and a goal statement. Now I don't want to become 68 in 3 months, because green belt just completes the project in 3 months. And black belt is given 6 months, because the projects are a little complicated and cuts across many divisions, departments. So I will say 82 to be reduced to 75 kgs. Okay. This is my project. I form a team, my family members, my dietitian, my gymnasium coach, and they are my team. And I start measuring. So I'm 82, sometimes 81, sometimes 83, 81, 82, 81. No, I make average and standard deviation. Every process, every repetitive process will have an average and a standard deviation. Now, there is no time to tell you about standard deviation, but I'll briefly mention about it. And I'll talk about that also in the next 10 to 15 minutes when I go to the measure phase. So now, as I told you, every process follows normal distribution. So if I go to this is my voice of customer. But voice of process is I am here. Oh, a lot of defects. The whole process is defects. It is far, far away from customer specification limits. Okay. So I will analyze. So I'll go to the analyze phase. I'll make a cause and effect diagram. Why? So there are a lot of factors. It could be the amount of food I'm eating, the sleep. It could be the stress levels. It could be so many things. Exercise, genetic. So many X factors. Then I can apply Pareto to that. For me, the root cause would be one or two causes only. It won't be everything. So I'll find the root cause and I will take action on the root. Let's say traveling is one of the root cause. Now, if I travel more very often, then in that case, I eat whatever is available and then I go out of shape. That means I control my eating habits during travel. So I implement some solutions. And whatever solutions I implement and I improve and I become 75 kgs. Now, once I become 75 kgs, I should be able to sustain it for a long, long time. Sustaining the gains for a long, long time. There is no point in improvement if you have not sustained the gains. So this is how DMAC is applied to taking a simple example. Now let us see how I can apply this to a recruitment cycle time project. So as we learn, we'll be learning some of the tools we'll be learning SciPOC, charter, types of data, normal distribution. We'll be learning control charts, cause and effect, Pareto, box plot, scatter plot, process mapping, brainstorming, etc. These are all tools which we'll be getting a little bit of introduction to all these tools and some demonstrations also how these tools are. So this project now I'm taking up to reduce the recruitment cycle time. Okay, I will follow DMAC. First, I form the team. Okay, in the define phase, I will form a team and I'll say, well, Mr. Process Owner, who owns the process? First, I identify the process. Which process I am talking about here? Which process is being referred to? I am referring to recruitment process. Problems are in the processes, not in the people. Please remember, problems are in the processes, not in the people. 85% of the problems are due to the processes, not due to the people. So all the tools and techniques you will find, they are related to processes, not to the people. Change the process, the same person will deliver great results. The same team will deliver excellent results. Change the standard operating procedure, change the process a little bit. The same team will deliver great results. That's what it is. As simple as that. Okay. Some of you are asking, yeah, it is available on YouTube. It's a live YouTube training. It's going live also. It's available on Facebook also. I'm not sure it's available on, but next time we will do a stream yard. I think, Naveen, if you are there, just remember to do StreamYard so that, if we can do, otherwise it's okay. So don't worry. As I said, I'm just requesting you to not, ask questions related to administration related stuff. Refrain from using doing that right now, and afterwards I'll tell you how to register for the training also. I'll tell you how to get the certificates also, all the dates also. Greenbelt, every weekend we have dates. every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and so some of the Middle East countries, Friday, Saturday, some of the other countries, Saturday and Sundays. Worldwide, we have batch timing. So we have continuously running. Some people want only morning sessions, 2 hours morning sessions from Monday to Thursday. It is all available. And in the evening also, morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours, 4 days a week. Everything is available. You have got multiple options. I'll tell you about those options. In fact, my friend Naveen will put up all the the dates in a short while. Yeah, but please wait. Let us complete the project first. Okay, great. So thanks for that. Now looking at so I have formed a team. And I've got process owner. Process owner is the manager of the process in whose process we are doing the project. And the champion or the sponsor is the head of the department of that process in whose process we are doing the project. Okay, so now we start with the SIPOC. Now remember the systems map which we created in the beginning. Some of you joined late, so you might have missed out, but don't worry, I'll show it one more time. This is the systems map which we had created. Now, if I pull out S of supplier, inputs, I of inputs, P process, output, and customer. SIPOC is a tool to it is identifying, it's trying to make a systems map or high-level process map, you can also say. And usually you'll start with customers. First, you'll start with customers, identify our customers. What is the output? Recruited employee. What are the process steps? Now, in a neutral way. Alienate yourself from the problem. Don't even think about the problem. Think about the process. Just talk about the process. There's nothing mentioned of the problem here, right? The recruitment cycle time is high. That's our problem which we are trying to solve. But now let me look at the process. How my process is. So I have made the process. And then these are the X factors. We call it inputs. All of these inputs and processes, we call it as X factors. And the output, we call it as Y, factor Y. Whatever is mentioned there is out. Make your own SIPOC of your own process. Okay. And the measure on the Y, the output is known as CTQ, critical to quality characteristic measure. How will I get that? I collect the voice of customer. I go to the voice. Mr. Customer, tell me about my output. And customer will give the feedback. And I put a measure on that feedback. And I told you time, error, cost are typical measures, but it could be very specific to their product or service also. And similarly, you also measure your X factors, job description, available, not available, CVs available, not available. You can measure. See, all these things you can measure. First of all, when I go to the measure phase, I'll ask you a question. But right now, let me park. Let me park this question. So here, this is SIPOC. Now, when we are teaching you in Greenbelt, we also prepare you for the questions, for the interviews. Because ultimately the idea is to get the knowledge and should be able to apply that knowledge to your own company. Suppose your own company is not giving much options, then you can also look for better options. Yeah. And apply for interviews as so if you're a chartered accountant and if you are also green belt or a black belt, you get a better opportunity. If you are an engineer, you're a green belt also, you get a better opportunity. Similarly, if you are a say doctor, and if you are a green belt, you get better opportunities. And also, more importantly, you can serve your patients in much better way. So interview question, I will not do it for all the tools right now. I'll just demonstrate for SIPOC. But for other tools, these interview questions All videos are listed on my website, Anexas website. So please watch them from there. But just one tool, I'm just giving an example.
We are discussing about the Lean and Six Sigma interview questions. Let me talk about CPHQ. CPHQ is a tool derived from Deming's systems approach. He used to say that 85% of the problems are due to the processes and only 15% are contributed by the people. It is a tool that gives you 50,000 feet overview of the process. If you give me only one page to give maximum information about the process, then I would use a CPHQ. So if you are asked about the CPHQ, then you can say that it is a tool that is used to see the overall process in one instant. It gives the whole picture of suppliers, inputs, process, output, and customers. And the CPHQ, the acronym, stands for that. It makes us follow the systems approach of Deming. It is usually done in the define phase immediately after you have written the project charter. Once we know the project, then we make a CPHQ on the process in which you are doing the project. This helps us to focus on the process rather than blaming the people for all the defects, errors, and delays. To make a CPHQ, we move from right to left. That means we start by identifying the customers, then the output, then process steps, and the inputs and the suppliers. CPHQ helps us to identify the inputs or the X factors which are influencing our output, that is the Y. Because Y is function of X, CPHQ is the starting point of using the statistical methods. After that, you can give an example of a CPHQ of a process from the organization for which you are appearing for an interview. I hope you found this useful. If you liked it, then you can forward to your friends too, and keep letting me know which questions you would like me to answer.
So your focus has to be on X factors, not the Y, right? Because Y is delivered automatically. See, result is not in your hand. Result is given by the system. What is in your hands? X factors. IT system, job description availability, CVs, budget. If you take care of the X factors, automatically the Y will be taken care of. Then you can also collect the data. Collect the data on your output. Usually people don't give you the data because sometimes they're afraid of giving you the data because they feel that you will use this data to make some reports and expose their inefficiency. So typically it happens. So you are not related to here. You're not trying to, if you tell the people why you are collecting the data, you're trying to help them, isn't it? You're not trying to expose their inefficiency. Actually, you are here to help. So if you tell them, people will give you the data. Sometimes people say, I've got too much of data. I've got too much of data. So in that case, you can't do anything. Like I have got a lot of data, but I don't know what to do with that. And another thing is, analysis is too complicated. I'm not a mathematics person. I'm not a statistics person. Now, all your excuses are invalid because now you have got Minitab. And I'll also tell you, very few samples can help you improve your processes. So let us talk about the data, how to collect the data, etc. First of all, why should I collect the data? Can you answer this? Can you tell me, do you agree with this statement? That some things cannot be measured and something cannot be measured. Okay, so some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So let me tell you, the right answer is you should not agree. Yeah. Okay, so here, if there are three rules actually. If you can't improve, if you cannot measure. Second rule is you can measure everything. And the third rule is that if you think something cannot be measured, probably it is. Actually, jokingly, I can say, the third rule is if you think something cannot be measured, go back to rule number 1 or rule number 2. Go back to rule number 2. That means everything can be measured. Now, I'll tell you how to measure everything. Okay. So you can measure everything either in terms of continuous data, or also there is one more type, which is attribute data. So sometimes we ignore this type, ignore this attribute data, and we think some things cannot be measured. In that case, I need to put a measure using attributes or categories. So continuous data is something like procurement time, 55.5 days. Recruitment time, 55.2 days. For such data, 30 to 50 samples is a good sample size. But for attribute data, 200 to 1,100 sample is a good sample size. And attribute data always have a category. Like for example, gender, male and female. 30 males, 20 females. Now you cannot have 30.1 male. Yeah. So it is always expressed in discrete counts. That is why sometimes it is also known as discrete data.
Processes and all the tools and techniques and lean.
So here is the explanation of the data types, 2 types of data. So let us have a watch here.
Are due to the processes and systems and not due to the people. So if you want to improve your products and services, focus on the process. It's easier to change the process rather than changing the people. Changing the people means replacing the people. That also is difficult. And even the changing the people's mindset, that is also difficult. So focus on the processes. And all the tools and techniques in Lean Six Sigma, you'll find that they are mostly focused on process improvement. As a Lean and Six Sigma green belt or a black belt, you need to remember 3 rules. The first rule is you cannot improve if you cannot measure. And the second rule is everything can be measured. And the third rule is if you think something cannot be measured, then go back to rule number 2. Well, jokes apart, the third rule can be if you think something cannot be measured, then probably it is attribute data. Now, let me tell you, how can you measure anything? There are 2 types of data, continuous data and attribute data. Continuous data can be represented on a number line. It can have a decimal place. It can also have a unit. Say, for example, age, height. Age is 52.5 years. That's my age. Height, maybe 180.1 centimeters. Cycle time of a process, 3.5 hours. Or procurement time in an organization, 120.3 days. These are all continuous data because they all have a possibility of a decimal, means they can be expressed in decimal points, and also they all have a unit.
I hope
Now,
you
let us
understood
talk
what is
about
continuous data. Any questions on that? Okay, now let us look at the attribute data. Now, attribute data is something which we feel we cannot measure. Oh, sorry.
Hi, I'm Amitabh.
We started it. By the way, my age is 55 now. That is an old video, two years ago. This is a 2-year-old video.
In an organization, 120.3 days. These are all continuous data because they all have a possibility of a decimal, means they can be expressed in decimal points, and also they
So you
all
can
have
have
a
a
unit.
decimal point in the age. That is why it is continuous data.
Now let us talk about attribute data. Attribute data can be expressed in categories, and categories can be counted. Say, for example, if you want to measure happiness, so easiest way to measure any attribute data is to create a category, and if possible, you can create a binary category. A presence or absence of that attribute can be one of the simplest categories. So if I take the example of happiness, two categories I can create: happy, unhappy. So if I want to increase the happiness in the employees in the organization, then I can always count how many employees are happy. Let's say 60 employees are happy and 40 employees are unhappy. I can express this as proportion. That means proportion of happy employees in my organization is 0.6 and proportion of unhappy employees is 0.4. And it can also be expressed as percentage. Now this proportion or percentage, they don't have a unit. And a count like 60 employees, I can't have 60.1 employees who are happy. So the count will not have any decimal point. So this is what continuous data and attribute data is. It is very important to know the difference between continuous and attribute data. And it is very important to understand what is continuous data and what is attribute data, because the tools which you are going to use in the measure and analyze phases, they depend on what type of data you are dealing with.
Your data type decides the tool which you are going to use. So continuous data, you will use histogram. In attribute data, you will use pie chart, bar chart. I'll give some examples in a short while when we start working on our project in using Minitab. Yeah, and Dr. Ba is telling you are an old man. Yeah, okay. Yes. What? Oh, I can't help it. I'm trying to prevent the age. But here, so like for example, age, I can have 54.5, but I can express the age in attribute also, like a young, middle-aged, old, very old. So when you have got 4 categories, that same age becomes categorical or attribute data. So if I'm measuring, like say, if I'm measuring a continuous data, Iklaq Sheikh is telling SRK is 57. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting some hopes now. Okay, great. So now we have got Oladimej is telling, but why? But you can't have an official document that you are 55.2. Okay, well, so now continuous data, if I'm expressing my age, like now age of people who are attending this session, okay, if I collect that data, so I can make a histogram. Okay, so maximum people, let us say, are 35 years, but as you go away, like up to 60, very few people are there, and below 20, very few people are there, right? So you will find that the data will follow normal distribution. Normal distribution. Now, I told you, Suresh Krishna is telling I'm 28. Yeah, so yeah, we happy. We so happy. But you are fitting into my distribution. So almost no one is below 20 and almost no one is above. Almost no one doesn't mean you will have people who will be above 60 as well. But probability, number of people above 60 will be very less. So this is how, you will find that distributions will be made for continuous data. But suppose if I say young, old, let's say 20 to 30, let's me put young. So number of young people is so young, then young adults or like, relatively more young, I can say young, so 30 to 40, then so if I classify them into categorical data, category 1, category 2, category 3, so middle-aged, and then above 60, I can, if someone is there, don't worry, I'll not say, more younger. So you can always classify. See, here I'm making a bar chart or a pie chart also. I can make a pie chart. I'll categorize how many people. And I'll always express as proportions. I'll express as proportions. Proportions means out of 1. What is the portion? Say 0.6. 0.6 people are happy. 60%. Sorry, here 0.6. I don't think this is 0.6. 0.6 I want to say. So 0.6 people are happy, right? Or if I express this percentage, I can say 60% are happy, 40% are unhappy. Now, what is the purpose of collecting the data? I want to increase the happiness in my organization. That is why I'm collecting the happiness data. And it is an attribute data. So today, 60% of the people are happy. I would do a project and I'll find the root cause of why these 40% people are unhappy and try to bridge the gap. So before the project, happiness is 60%. And after the project, happiness will become 80%. And just 100 samples are good enough to do all these, all these analysis. Later on, I'll show you. Sometimes you will be finding correlation between the data, like cycle time, recruitment time of the person. Is it affected by the happiness of the employees? Happiness of our HR staff. They are happy, then time will be shorter. Maybe, I don't know. So I have got happiness is attribute data and time is continuous data. I'm trying to correlate the two. Then I will use a box plot. And when I'm trying to say that waiting time in the hospital, is it related to length of the queue or the waiting time of patients in the registration? Maybe. Is it related? Both are continuous data. Then in that case, I will draw a scatter plot. So these all, like what, whenever you are trying to, whenever you are trying to correlate two factors, you can get the relative, respective tools and techniques. Now, I think you are with me up to here. Great. I don't see any questions here. Okay, that's great. Okay, some people ask question and answers. How I will get complete PPT. Okay, I told you I'll be answering all the questions. Waste elimination. Okay, fine. Got it. Okay, great. Now let us proceed further. Now I make a project chart. Now I know what is the, I've collected the data. I can make a histogram. I can find what is the average. So average cycle time is now 50 days. Okay. I would like to reduce 50 days to 30 days. And if I do, it will have a savings of $300,000 per annum. Okay. So there are other features of Project Charter. I won't go into the details as of now. So we are just going to now move to the measure phase. So whenever you complete the define phase, you present your define phase to your stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people who can positively or negatively impact the process, or who are impacted by the process, who are interested or maybe sometimes not interested in your success. They are all stakeholders. So you have to present this define phase, the charter and SIPOC to your stakeholders and move on to the measure phase. Now we already saw Y is function of X. Y is function of X. When I go to the doctor and I tell the doctor that I'm having fever, the doctor does not focus on the symptom. What is the measure of my fever? Maybe the body temperature. But doctor doesn't try to reduce the body temperature. Actually, he finds the root cause. There are multiple possible causes, which can be causing this fever, and he will give the medicine. He'll collect the data, blood sample, etc., blood test, X-ray, etc., and then he will find the root cause. Similarly, you are a green belt or a black belt is a doctor of a process, physician of a process. The process owners come to them. Well, my process is having fever in the sense my process is having delays, dissatisfied customer, errors, mistakes, etc. These are the diseases of the process. So as a green belt and black belt, you'll analyze and find the root causes. That's the whole journey of analyze and improve. So like a doctor, he would never say that if you have a fever, he will not focus on the symptom. He will not tell you, oh, you have a fever. Okay, sit in the refrigerator for a specially designed refrigerator like ice bath. go inside that for 5 minutes and come out. Typically, under normal circumstances, you will not tell. Of course, in some special circumstances where we need it, I'm not talking about that. But in general, doctor will focus on your root cause, and he or she will give you the medicine for that root cause. So similarly, as a green belt or black belt, you will also get the specific medicine for the cause. So don't focus on symptom. So symptom was recruitment cycle time, but the cause could be job descriptions are not available or approval time is high. So many things, right? So you'll find that out. So let us learn about some basic statistics. So what I will do is, let me talk a little bit about some basic statistics. As I told you, the continuous data will follow normal distribution. Most of the time, you'll have some normal distribution. And Mr. Gauss, he found that most of the repetitive processes, they follow this distribution. He called this normal distribution because it is normal to opt in a normal distribution. Oh, I'm trying to write normal, but it's not coming out of normal. It's not, that word itself is not written as normal. In normal. So normal means, why it is known as normal? Because it's normal to opt in a normal distribution. Okay. He studied this, Mr. Carl Friedrich Gauss. He studied this curve, frequency distribution curve in the 17th or 18th century. And he found that most of the repetitive processes, they follow normal curve. And he also found that it has got two very, very interesting characteristic of a normal curve. What are these interesting characteristics? One, it will have an average, and another, it will have a standard deviation. Now, what is a standard deviation and how to calculate? I will send you the video. It explains the mathematical concept of standard deviation, or what exactly you mean by a standard deviation. But that video you can watch separately. Right now, you just trust me, the standard deviation can be calculated very easily. Okay, but how to calculate for a formula and some example, my team, if you can please put standard deviation calculation video, you can see, actually, I'm giving you a lot of videos apart from this session. This video, of course, is being captured, but other videos also I'm giving. And those videos, as I told you again, repeatedly, I've been telling, these are all available on our Anexas YouTube channel. Just subscribe to that and you will get all the videos. So here, let's me take an example. My traveling time to office every day, if I collect, one day I got 31 minutes, another day I got 25 minutes, another day I got 33 minutes, another day I got 36 minutes, 28 minutes, 26 minutes, so on and so forth. So you'll have an average, let's say 30 minutes, and standard deviation is, let's say, 5 minutes. Okay. Now, Mr. Gauss, he found one strange phenomena, that most of the processes, repetitive processes, if I collect 30 samples, around 10 or 20 is also good enough, and I find the average and the standard deviation of that sample, I can predict about the whole population. And population size could be in thousands or millions or even in billions. Yeah. It could be either in millions or billions. Yeah. In my Greenville sessions, I even do this exercise. Typically we have got around 15 to 20 people in a session. So I collect the data of around 15 people and predict the heights of world population. And every time we are right. But for the time being, let me make control chart, the normal distribution curve for my travel time to office. So this is 1 standard deviation, this is 2 standard deviation, this is 3 standard deviation. -1, -2, and -3. Mr. Gauss, he found that 99% of the population, 99.73 to be more precise, 99.73% of the total population lies between ±3 times standard deviation. Now, this is a theorem. This is the way things happen. Why they happen? It's, we're not interested in explaining that right now in this session, but it happens. So I can use this information to my advantage. And let me do that. So I can predict all my travels. I can predict about all my travels by just collecting 20-30 samples of my travel time. And can you predict, can you tell me what would be the values? So here, the values could be, this is 30. This is 1 time standard deviation becomes 35. Then this becomes 40 and this becomes 45. This becomes 25, this becomes 20, and this becomes 50. I hope you understood how I got this. This is 30. 30 plus 1 time standard deviation. Standard deviation is 5. So 30 plus 5, 35. Similarly, 30 minus 1 times standard deviation, which is 30 minus 5. This is known as voice of process. As if my traveling time is telling that, this is how you will behave. Yeah. This is known as voice of process. I hope you are with me. Okay. Now, I will get specification limit from the customers also. And my boss tells me, you have to not take more than 35 minutes, let's say. This is a specification. So if I'm taking more than 35 minutes, it's a error. And I can easily calculate, if I go to the table, statistical tables, I can easily calculate that this is, let's say, 16%. 16% of the time I'm going beyond this. 0.16 means, proportion of defects or probability of getting a defect beyond 35 is 16% or 0.16. So I can get my defects. And defects in 1 million opportunities, it will become 160,000 defects per million opportunities, right? And I convert this into a sigma level. Okay. Now, calculation of sigma level, etc., is not part of your yellow belt session. So I will not go into details of that. But right now, for the time being, just understand, if the defects are low, your sigma level will be higher. If your sigma level is low, that means you have defects, too many defects. So try to reduce the defects to as low as possible. At 3.4 defects per million opportunities, you are getting, your sigma level is 6. At 6 sigma, you are at 3 defects in 1 million opportunities. And the process will look something like this, like something like this. Very, very few defects. You're almost not going beyond the specifications, right? So that's what, like 6 sigma process would look like. Very, very, it is away from the specification limits, the far away of the specifications. Standard deviation will be lower and sigma level will be highest. Yeah. Sigma level will be. How many times standard deviation it is away from the specification limit? Here standard deviation is very low, so you can say that almost 6 times you are away from the specification limits. In the previous case, in the green case, you are only hardly 1 standard deviation away from the specification limit. So sigma level is low, but when you are far, far away from the specification limits, 6 times the standard deviation away from the standard specification limit, you will say that, wow, process is not producing any defects. So in short, if a sigma level is high, your defects are lower. Anyway, you can also watch this video multiple times, after you receive this whole recording. Okay, that was a little statistical part. I understand that, but it's okay. Some statistics, of course, you should be prepared to learn. But now, easier things. Now we will do the root cause. So we just established the fact. So let me show you. See, our life is made easier by Minitab. Okay. So this Minitab, when you come to my sessions, I even train you in Minitab also. I give you the this tool as well, this software tool also. Trial version you can download from minitab.com if you are interested. But when you join our sessions, we'll be giving you the exam voucher. We'll be giving you exam voucher of Anexas Europe certification. We'll be giving you. You get AEC certification from Europe after you attend our green belt session and the black belt session. And this certificate is worldwide valid. Okay, so I will just make a histogram. I'll ask Minitab, please make a histogram. So right now I'm just showing you. You don't have to do it with me. So I have got an average of 50 days. I have got a standard deviation of 5 days. So I can predict the control limits, lower control and upper control limit, right? I can even make a control chart. It's very much possible. I can make a control chart. So I just want to know whether the process is under control or not. Okay. So on an average, 50 days is the normal recruitment time. It goes as high as 64 days, or it goes as low as 36 days. So 99% of the time, you are operating, the recruitments are taking place between 36 to 64 days in a way. So this is how the interpretation of a control chart is. Now the control chart will tell you whether the process is under control or not, means it is not throwing any surprises. Typically you act between 36 to 64 days. But I'm not happy, isn't it? The customer wants it, let's say, the recruitment cycle time. They say that you should not cross above 35 days. So in this case, all of the recruitments are taking beyond 35 days. So process is under control, but it is not satisfying the customer. It may happen. Process under statistical control just means that you are operating within the control limit. When you are operating within the control limit, you are under common cause variation. Common cause variation means all the causes are acting on your system and producing this variation, which is your natural variation. Let me give a simple, day-to-day life example. Okay, I think that will help you to understand better. Let me, I will maybe show you. The concept of common cause and special cause variation, able to understand it a little better by taking a simple example, right?
So if you want to change, if you want to make changes, go ahead with it. And your data collection plan should be such that it should be able to gather data about both X factors and the Y factors. Once you have collected the data, then it's time to display the data. We also use descriptive statistics here, so you can use a histogram, you can make a control chart, you can display the data collected as run charts, etc. To give you a little bit idea of what is control chart, let us take a simple example. Suppose I collect the data of my travel time from my home to office every day, and I find that on an average I'm taking 30 minutes and standard deviation is 5 minutes, and we know how to calculate the standard deviation and how to calculate the average. Now if I plot the data on a histogram, then lower control limit would be minus 3 sigma limits, that will be 15 minutes, and upper control limit would be 45 minutes, that is plus 3 times the standard deviation. So lower control limit being 15 and upper control limit being 45, I can say that my travel time is going to vary between 15 to 45 minutes. So you can expect me to travel to my office every day between 15 to 45 minutes. If someone asks me why this variation between 15 to 45 minutes is there, I can tell him that it is due to common cause variation. What is common cause variation? I can say that the variation between 15 to 45 minutes is due to lots of factors. These factors can be the traffic on the road, the weather, the car I use, my mood, or it can also depend on at what time I start from my home. So a lot of factors, which we can call it as X factors, are affecting the travel time, which is the Y here. So I can make the statement that the variation between 15 minutes to 45 minutes is due to the common causes. Means all the causes are acting on my system and producing this variation. This is known as voice of process, as if my process is telling, my traveling process is telling that I will take between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. Now if I take 60 minutes to travel to my office, then same question is asked to me, that why did I take 60 minutes? Then my answer won't be that all the causes are acting on my system and producing this variation of 60 minutes. I might be able to point out a cause. We call it a special cause. So I may say that I took 60 minutes because maybe today there was too much traffic on the road, or it can be any factor. So when I go out of control limits, I can specify a special cause, and we call this variation as a special cause variation. So we have two types of variation: common cause variation and special cause variation. Common cause variation is part of the process, part of the natural variation of the process, and special cause variation is assignable variation. I can assign a cause to that particular event. Now, what is the difference between common causes and special causes? For special causes, you need to take immediate action. Means you need to take a prompt action so that you are able to bring the process within control. But for common causes, you should not take any specific action. Usually, the common cause is within the control limits, and if you want to act upon the common causes, you might have to change the control limits, and changing the control limits takes effort. You may have to do a DMAC project. You may have to do a lean project. You may have to do a Six Sigma project, and that's what we are doing. That is why we say that lean and Six Sigma is applied to chronic problems. A process is behaving in a certain way. It is behaving within some control limits for a long, long time. Last 6 months or 7 months, your procurement time has been, say, 120 days plus minus 30 days. And I would like to change the control limit. I would like to change the DNA of my process. And that is why I would need to do a Six Sigma project. To understand the variation a little more, let us take another example.
So you can see, here what we are doing, what we are trying to achieve is the process is under control here also in the initial stages. It's under control. Here also it is under control. But the difference between the two is, in the second case, this is before the project, and this is after the project. After the project, the customer is happy. And he will be consistently happy in the future too, because the process is under control. So process under control means that it is predictable process. I can predict the process. These videos are available to you, as I said. You can watch this one more time, because if you are getting exposed to the concept of control chart for the first time, yeah, there is a probability that, you will take a little bit, 1 or 2 iterations to understand this fully. But I hope, basics are clear. I hope you are able to, digest these basic concepts. Now, what we will do, we will just go back to our project. We have understood some basic statistics. Oh, this was quite basic. There's a little bit of basic statistics. Now we have got, yes. So we are in the measure phase. We collect the data. We also define a defect. So what is a defect? Defect is any recruitment taking more than 60 days is a defect. Okay. So 27 defects occurring in 47. So I make a histogram and I also calculate defects per million opportunities. How many defects total? 27. Out of how many opportunities? 43 opportunities. In 1 million, how many defects per million opportunities? 600,000 approximately. Then I will go to a sigma level table, and there is against every number, you have got a sigma level. So I get that 62%, 62.7% or 627,000 defects per million opportunities. My sigma level is at 1.14. As I said, the calculation of sigma level details are not in the syllabus for yellow belt. So you can just have an overview of this and we can move ahead. Now we go to the analyze phase. So analyze phase, there are 2 doors, process door and data door. In process door, you can map the process as is, detailed. This will be detailed process map. And you can also do a Gemba investigation. Gemba means, I hope you remember in the beginning we had told you, Gemba means go to the field, go where the action is. And then identify the value added and non-value added steps. Similarly, you will also do a cause and effect diagram. You can do a control impact matrix. You will do a Pareto chart. You can do a box plots or a scatter plot to validate the data. So let's see this one by one. First, you will map the process. Once you map the process, this time you will be mapping the process in detail. It's not like, you are now in the SIPOC. Remember, in the SIPOC, we had done a high-level process map. Now we are doing a detailed process map. All the steps you have to write down, and you have to identify how much waste is there. So there are 7 or 8 types of wastes I mentioned in the beginning, right? Transportation, waiting, errors, defects, over-processing, etc. Identify and try to remove them as much as possible. You can also apply escape technique. Escape means ask these 5 questions. Can I eliminate? Can I simplify? Can I combine those steps? Can I automate the step? So every step you ask 5 questions. Every step you ask 5 questions. And you'll find that after some time, you'll realize, you'll find that some steps could be eliminated, some steps could be simplified, some steps could be automated, and suddenly you'll get a very, very nice, new process, new proposed process you will be getting. So try that out, escape technique. A detailed escape technique with an example. That video is also available on our website. So Naveen has just put it in the chat box. So you can have a look at it. You can store these links. As I told you, store all these links. They are very, very useful links if you want to study further. Then also you can, you're mapping the process. Whatever you're doing, it has to be with the help of the team. Don't do things alone. Yeah, that's very important. Then going to the data door, you do a cause and effect diagram, get hold of the people and try to get hold of all the possible causes. And using affinity technique, affinity means grouping the similar thoughts together. Using affinity technique, you can divide these causes into man, machine, material, method, measurement. Or you can think of those categories first and tell the people to identify the causes related to those categories: man, machine, material, method, measurement, and mother nature. 6 M's, we also call it 6 M's. So they have collected the data. Then you can also filter them down using some analysis called Pareto analysis or voting analysis. You can vote for the causes, or you can go with the real data, which cause is occurring most of the time. So that's what here they have done. They have classified the data into they have arranged the data into descending order, like highest at the top, highest number of votes you're receiving at the top, and then it goes down, and the top 20%, which is causing the 80% of the issues, will be chosen. And let me show this in Minitab as well. The same thing can be done in Minitab as well. So when you come to my session, I'll be happy to teach you the Minitab session. And that's why you should come to my session. Okay. Yes. So I'll tell you, we run those sessions regularly. I do only this. Yeah. And I've been doing this for the last 33 years. Okay. And I've got examples from almost all industries, right from Aramco to SABIC to ADNOC to Warner Brothers to Ferrari World to banks, National Bank of Oman, so Bank Muscat, Bank Riyadh, many organizations, Bharat Petroleum, Steel Authority of India, so many of them, so many. Okay, now let me quality tools, cause and effect diagram. I'm just making the cause and effect diagram. So, and cut paste all these graphs into a template. So there's a template also. Using this template, you can always, whatever I'm doing right now, there's a project template which we give it to you, and you have to actually do this, project along with us. And finally, you also, submit this. The what this template, we need to fill it in the classroom. I tell you to fill this in, and we do the project simultaneously, data collection, a lot of other analysis, how to calculate the sigma level. So we simultaneously keep doing the project, cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, control impact metrics, scatter plots, box plots, hypothesis tests, etc. Everything, you get to know. You do it with me and also keep on understanding. The idea is that when you do the things yourself, you will understand better. When you hear, you will still understand, but the level of understanding will not be so much until you do it, when you face the difficulties. Right now, I'm doing it for you, so you can just have a look. Now, I collect further data. I'm collecting further data, and I'm going here. I'm looking at the reasons. What are the reasons? Why I'm not able to recruit people on time? So I collect some data of the last 6 months of recruitments and around 50-60 samples, and I find that some of the things, some of the reasons appear again and again. Like first recruitment got delayed due to approval time, then job description not available. So if you see all these, some reasons will appear more as compared to others. So you can always make a Pareto. Now, Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the wealth in Italy was with 20% of the people. He devised this 80-20, famous 80-20 rule. So Joseph Juran, he applied to the quality, and he said 80% of the problems, 80% of problems are due to 20% of the causes. So 80% of whatever you're trying to solve is due to 20%. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 X factors affecting the 80%. So focus on those 4, and you will solve 80% of the problems. Right? Great. So that's what they've done. They've got your root causes. And now let us analyze it further. When it was continuous data, a single column, I used a histogram or graphical summary, right? When it was attribute data, I used a Pareto chart, if you remember. It was attribute data. Reasons were attribute data. So I used a Pareto chart or a bar chart or a pie chart. And when I'm dealing with relationships, one is continuous and one is attribute, I'll use a box plot. When both our data are continuous data, I will use a scatter plot. So let me demonstrate that. By the way, if you're liking it, I have an interactive live training and the details are given. I'll be sharing the details with you in a short while. And my friend Naveen, if he's available, can you share the screens of the date? Because some people are asking about the date. By the way, we have not finished the training. Yes, still 45 minutes to go. So, but because some people again and again ask the dates. So please, let's have a look at the dates. Okay. So I'm giving you the dates. Fees, I will tell you afterwards. It's not much. Don't worry. So yeah, so these are the dates, training on weekends. If you want to register, please register. Please show your interest by filling in a form. And if you are going to register today, we have got the offer which was valid for last year, but we have just extended the offer for 2 more months. So till January 31st, because this program is happening close to 31st. So we have just extended this offer. So very, very good offer. If you register for Green Belt, Black Belt, you get Master Black Belt totally free. And these are the dates. So you can have a look at those dates. And if it fits well with your schedule, if one batch is starting on February 25th, or another is 25th of March 25th, or there is a Saturday, Sunday batch, and Friday, Saturday batch also. And one batch is starting on 27th for mornings, all mornings, and one batch is for evenings. And the timings are all morning and evening batches also given here in the next page. So, okay, Noor Banat has already registered for Green Belt. Very good. Thank the Lord, Noor. And great to have you there. And we'll see you in the program. Great. And we have got, yes. So these are the different, dates available. The timings, as I was telling, is also given here. So the weekdays are already, the weekdays are India time, UAE time, KSA time, Europe, and people from all over the world attend. Usually, US guys are not there because it's the daytime trainings mostly. So US, we have got a separate batch. Okay, now coming back. So I hope, because a lot of people keep asking the same question again and again. So I just wanted to show you the date, but we have not finished the training. Don't run away. Don't run away. Okay. So, but you'll have a lifetime association with me, one thing for sure. All the students 20, 25 years ago also, they are still in touch with me. I'm on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And you can keep watching every day, every 2-3 days, I post some videos, and I'm very active on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm totally into data analytics, project management. I also do PMP trainings. If you are interested in PMP trainings, I do a 2-hour free training on PMP introduction and also CPHQ trainings, and then data science and AI trainings, then Power BI trainings also. So feel free to join any of our trainings. Free trainings of 2 hours, and you get introduced, and then you feel like this particular thing is for me. Yeah, go ahead. And then after that, of course, you register. By the way, now we have got the root cause. Oh, root causes not yet. So I have to do the root cause analysis. Are you following those techniques? What were the techniques? The techniques were, so I've collected the data. Now let us see. Scatter diagram, box plots, right? Recruitment time, is it getting affected by, let us say, approval time? Approval take more time, Does it have impact on recruitment time? Not necessarily. Sometimes approval may take 3-4 days also, but still my recruitment time is high. Sometimes it may be delayed, but still recruitment time remains the same. So maybe some other factor is affecting. So you have to investigate one by one. Okay. So let me explain to you first here. When I am dealing with two factors, one is, let's say here recruitment time, and here it's approval time. Approval time. Both are continuous data. So I will use a scatter diagram. Scatter plot. And regression would be, regression is like, I'll not talk about regression in the yellow belt right now, but regression is like, in a straight line equation, you'll get it. So scatter diagram will tell you whether approval time is affecting the recruitment time. If there is a positive, this is a positive relation. There could be a negative relation also. If X increases, Y decreases, there could be a negative. So positive or negative relation means there is a relation. But there could be no relation also. Approval time is 2 days or 10 days. My recruitment time is still always 100 days. It has nothing, not much impact. The recruitment time of 100 days is due to some other factor. The root cause is something else, not the approval time in this situation, what I just draw. So depending on the graph, you will come to know that, yeah, it is affecting or not affecting. Similarly, if my recruitment time, which is continuous data, I want to know job description availability. Is it having an impact? Now, here if I see job description is available and job description is not available. Okay. When it is available, recruitment time is low. When it is not available, recruitment time is high. We call this as a box plot. So distribution of data in the job description was available. And when it was not available, the distribution of data is there. And it means that when the job descriptions are available, you take less time. But suppose this was the situation. Job description is available or not available, you still take time between 50 to 100 days. No relationship. Then I will say job description availability doesn't matter much. It is not the real root cause. Something else is the root cause. It's not the, see, everything is causing. We are not saying it is not no cause at all. It has an impact, but not so much impact. And we are interested in what? We are interested in what? We are interested in root causes. We are not interested in all the causes. All the causes I know. There are 100 factors affecting the causes, but I am interested in that 4 or 5 factors. And that will be validated using techniques. So here will be then, sorry, you will be interested in following those techniques. Techniques, the statistical techniques, statistical route of solving the problem. Recruitment time and approval time. Let us do a scatter plot. Okay. Scatter plot, where is recruitment time and approval time? Yahoo. Yes. Well, it appears that they are related. So approval time is validated. My cause is validated. Now recruitment time versus assessment time. No time taken to assess the candidates. See, that way everything is related. But let me see one by one. Let me investigate. I'm doing a statistical analysis. Right? Okay. I don't think there's much, there's not much relation. So, well, then in that case, we'll say that assessment time, I'll not focus too much, but the approval time is an issue. Let me give some suggestions there. Now, let us see for the recruitment time and the, let us say, job description availability. Available, not NA means not available, A means available. Now, I cannot use a scatter plot here. I will have to use box plot. So let me use a box plot here. Because why? Because continuous data and attribute data, isn't it? One is continuous, one is attributed. So I cannot use a. So here, recruitment time versus job description availability. And when the job description is available, on an average, I'm taking 45 days. Here I'm taking 55 days, almost 10 days of difference. So if I ensure, my suggestion would be, now job description is root cause, so I'll suggest every job description, let us write the root cause in the next 7 days. This will help us to quickly finish our recruitments in future. Because now job descriptions are available. So you can always reduce 10 days of time of recruitment. And wow, this is how. And why you're so sure about it? Because their data is validated that this is the root cause. Now let us look at type of hiring. Type of hiring, is it impacting? Well, let me see. Again, I'll do a box plot. And yeah, it doesn't have much impact, really, not much. Almost all types of hirings are same. So it doesn't impact as expat, like local sheriffs. Okay, so this is kind of root cause analysis, which we just saw. Now, once I've got the causes, I have to act on it. I have to give solutions. So I'll use brainstorming technique. So brainstorming technique, let us use some ground rules for brainstorming. Let us hear some brainstorming, how to do the brainstorming techniques. Yeah. Some ground rules you need to follow, brainstorming, okay? So ground rules, let me describe the round.
Give equal opportunity to everyone who's participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we will be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas. Whatever is being discussed, whatever ideas the participants are given, someone should be there to document, or a scribe you can appoint to document all the ideas. Leave your designation and ego along with your shoes outside the meeting room. That means don't think that if you are senior, your idea carries more weightage. So obviously this ground rule should be very clear to everyone, and everyone should be encouraged to give an idea, and everyone's idea should carry equal weightage. There should be a non-threatening environment. When people are giving ideas, they should not be afraid of giving ideas. So you should create an environment where people should be encouraged to give the ideas. Also, we should ensure that wherever the brainstorming is taking place, there should not be any disturbance, so people are focused on brainstorming. Sometimes people might deviate from the topics. There is a tendency that some important issue crops up during the discussion. So at that time, you can always create a parking lot saying that, well, this idea or this issue is very, very important, and we can park it to be discussed after a while once we complete the brainstorming on this particular topic. We should encourage people to fantasize freely. We should not put brakes on our thoughts. So you can give some out-of-the-box ideas, you can give some wild ideas, and if people are giving you wild ideas, they should be encouraged. If you give a specific duration of brainstorming, we should try to complete the brainstorming within the time duration and defer evaluation. Now, this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity, do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions, more the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas. So how to generate those ideas? There are different.
So let us have a look at one of the idea generation technique.
(635) brainstorming technique. I have used this technique in many organizations and we have obtained a lot of good results. In just 30 minutes, you can generate 108 ideas. How? Here the team members brainstorm ideas on a written form. It is also known as silent brainstorming technique. We take 5 minutes to write down 3 solution ideas on the first row of our form. So a form or a white sheet is given to each one of the participants and in the 5 minutes they write 3 ideas. Once they have written down the 3 ideas, in the next 5 minutes, again they have to write the 3 ideas by passing on the form to each other. You keep on circulating the papers till the time you receive back your own paper. So you can imagine that in the next 30 minutes, once the form is circulated to everyone and you have looked at the form of each other, you would have generated 108 ideas in just half an hour. While you are participating in 635 technique, you can add ideas by enhancing an idea already on the sheet, which is written by someone else. You can add a variation of an idea on the sheet, or you can add a completely new idea.
I hope you got the idea. See, so here you are trying to, give this sheet is given to 6 people, and in 5 minutes, all 6 of them write three ideas each. So you'll add in 5 minutes, you will generate around 18 ideas. Yeah. Then you exchange the papers. And then you get someone else's paper and your paper is going to someone else. So you look at those ideas written by others, generate new ideas. So it's a very powerful
Till
technique.
the time you receive.
I strongly try to do this. There are other techniques like round robin, etc. One more technique of problem solving and solution implementation so that you don't fail is FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. Now, FMEA technique takes, say, 20 minutes to explain, 20-30 minutes, along with an exercise. So this video of 20 minutes is there in our YouTube channel, and I will be giving you this link. So please watch that video as well. And I'll strongly recommend to watch this particular video for sure. FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. The link is given, and you can watch that. FMEA means you prevent the failure. Here I'm using FMEA in one of the very well-known soft drinks giants, and this is US office. Their US office. I'm conducting a session for them. Yeah, they solve their problem using FMEA. So please go through that. Please go. No problem, Tivanka. You'll get the links. Yeah, I understand. So no problems. You'll get the links. All the recordings available. So don't worry about it. Yeah, so here, as I was telling, you generate ideas, you generate lots of ideas, and then you implement those ideas. And once you implement those ideas, uh, you get to see the results. You make a plan to implement the ideas. Once you plan to implement the ideas, then you see the difference, and then you control the process. Controlling the process is also important. Controlling, like, see, if you improve a process and then it goes back to its original state in just 2, 3, 4 months, there's no point in improvement. You actually wasted a lot of resources and time to just improve the process when it goes back to the original state. So you don't want that. You want it to last longer. So that is why you have to control. Control means you create SOPs, training, new processes, make control charts on your X factors, whatever X factors were there for your, whatever factors you're trying to control. So don't only watch the outputs, watch the inputs also. So give control limits of inputs. So all these process reviews, audits, these are all part of your control. So here we had a process which is before 50 days. Now it is reduced. And how we will denote it using Minitab. And this is the chart every CEO would like to see, that before the project and after the project. So we have collected the data now, before the project and after the project. Here we have collected, and we make. Now we are making a control chart, which is about what was the status before and what is the status afterwards. And I can see that there is clearly change of control limit. So there's a change of control limits, right? Before and after. So my process is improved. Process was under control before also, now also, but now it is, average has reduced. 25 days of time, almost reduced to half by eliminating a lot of non-value-added steps and taking care of all the root causes. So such is the magic of the DMAC. Now let us play a game. I would like to know whether you've learned something. Who wants to be a green belt or min? So, ladies and gentlemen, you face a lot of difficulties in your life, but all your problems can be solved using green belt tools and techniques. So let's play Who Wants to Be a Green Belt or a Yellow Belt for the time being. And here we go. First question, $10,000. Yes. The inputs to a process are called the X's, the Y's, out of scope, or gauge R&R. Right answer will give you $10,000, and wrong answer will not give you anything. Yeah. So yes, almost everyone has answered it correctly. Yes, I see lots of people answering. Ravindra, Melvin, Usha, Janavi, Angel, Noor, everyone. Oh, very nice. So all of you are right. Yes. Hardeep, Eldasuki, okay, Rajesh, Suresh Krishna, Satin, okay. Oh, so many of you, Kaustubh, Yasmin. Well, that's the right answer. And all of you have won $10,000. Okay, the output of the process is. So, of course, we play this game during the sessions, we keep revising, play the games, make sure that you pass the examination. So this is a guarantee that you'll be passing the examination. All of you will pass the examination. If you don't pass, you appear for the exam one more time, no problems. So finally, you get the certificate for sure. Usually, 100% of the people, 99% of the people pass in first attempt. Yes. So this is the output of process known as what the customer sees. What is not a deliverable? What is not a deliverable of? We will offer the certificate of participation also, yes. Plus exam as well, both. And all of you pass the examination. Yeah. The prioritized list of causes. What is not a deliverable? Not. So, yes, McQuanant. Okay, you're right, Angel. Yeah, almost everyone is right. Yes. So many of you are. So now you have reasons to collect the data. Very large data, graphical tools are easy to interpret. Now let me ask you one question. Okay, before I show you lean applications and Six Sigma applications in any other industries, I'll show you. But let me ask you a question. How many of you are interested? Let me give a poll. Just give me 1 minute. Let me start a poll. So just let me know if you are interested and I will contact you accordingly. So now let me, after this, I'll show you how to implement the roadmap of implementing Lean Six Sigma in an organization. Okay. So now I'll show you some, maybe using different organizations, I'll pull out different stages and I'll try to tell you what is a typical process of implementing the Six Sigma in an organization, how to create your green belts, how do the organizations transform themselves, right? So first you collect the green belts. See, first you identify the problems in the various departments and convert them into projects. And then allocate those projects to the green belts and black belts. Green belts and black belts. Allocate them, those projects, to green belts and the black belts. And identify the champions or the sponsors also. And you can have a steering committee, the senior management committee, who's steering the whole initiative in the organization. As you initiate the green belt, black belt training programs, identify the projects. And master black belts like me, they are going to train you. Generally, that's what happens in all our clients. We have done that. We start with the champions training. Like, for example, this European company, I did a champions training first. Here I used a business game, but it varies, So we gave them some problems to solve and they were not able to solve. And once we taught them some tools and techniques, they were able to solve those problems. So this way, what happened, they got a buy-in. So that was a champions training, the senior management training. Once they got the buy-in, then they tell, now I'll go to another organization. This was one of the European companies, the #1 pharmaceutical company that was. Then in another company, once they have chosen the black belts and green belts, they come to the class and then they start the training along with the project. Your team name 1, 2, 3. Anti-Muda. And your slogan 1, 2, 3. Green air go. Okay. And your song.
Let's go green. Let's go green. We are the champions. We are the team.
Wow.
Yay! Well done.
And your team name 1, 2, 3.
Hola, hola.
Your slogan 1, 2, 3.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Together, everyone achieves more. And your song.
Feel it in the air. All this world has seen. Each of us will share. One dream. We are
All of them are now ready to do the projects. Once the phase is over, training and project is over, they present the projects. So this is a national healthcare service in UK.
Well, we have Alex with us, and he has done excellent Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So, Alex, Would you like to tell us something about it?
Hello, I'm Alex Wells, Head of Service Improvement at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital. I've been really fortunate to present today on how us as a trust are using Lean and Six Sigma principles to deliver better care for our patients. I've presented today on a lot of the work that we've done around how we've improved patient outcomes, reducing mortality, improving length of stay, and also talked about how we can actually realise some financial benefits from that. Over the past 2 years, we've been really fortunate that we've done some good work, and it's actually delivered us £2 million worth of quality efficiencies through delivering better patient care.
And then multiple banks also. Now I've got a lot of credentials, a lot of case study, but no time to show. Okay, this is one of the largest logistics company in Saudi Arabia. Okay, let me show this part also.
My name is Mohammed Al-Bayati. I'm the CEO of Napel. Through Anexas, Mr. Amitabh has taught me and more than 1,000 employees of Napel, Six Sigma and Lean processes. This affected our bottom lines by millions of riyals, and it is having a big impact in changing our company from a local company to a regional or multinational company. Thanks to Anexas and Mr. Amitabh. Thank you very much.
Okay, so before I talk about lean in hospitals, let me and give some example. Let me also talk about in healthcare only. Deputy Health Minister of Saudi Arabia, Dr. Tarif Alama, he has
We have Dr. Tarif Alama,
Dr. Muhammad Abdul Ali is also attended, and they have all appreciated.
Saudi Arabia.
And by the way, if you become a green belt or black belt, you will be able to get rid of inability to do anything. Okay, and it's online training. We conduct online trainings, so we just we'll be happy to give you the online training. You can register for it. You will stop living with a problem, but you will not depend on someone else. You will be able to reduce the cost, improve the quality, become a problem solver, consult your own organization, start on your own. So these are the different days which I just showed it to you. And now this is just the beginning of the journey. Your optimized processes can save a lot of money for your organization. So because it will save a lot of money for your organization.
Mr. Andrew Robertson,
CEO of King Edward Hospital, London,
in London,
and Australia, and so many of them, Portland's Cleaning Australia, they are all our clients. So certification is from Anexas Europe, which is globally recognized certificate, and 2 projects are done in the classroom. You'll also get Minitab software and free lifetime access to complimentary all the courses. There are so many other courses. You'll get free complimentary access to these other courses. Along with Lean Six Sigma, you can learn a lot of other things, which if you enroll under a certain, none of this time, January offer was very, very good offer, which we are extending by 3-4 days now. So you will be, getting hands-on experience, and blueprint of the project is created in the classroom itself. So about the fee. So normally the fee is very high. You will be getting green belt certificate, lean expert certificate, black belt certificate, master black belt certificate, depending on what you want to go for. Project completion certificate, real projects, Minitab software, and all of them costs real good money. But if you register today or tomorrow, a lot of things are coming to you for free. And on top of it, if you're registering for today for maybe 1 or 2 certifications, it will be further 50% to 70% discount on what is mentioned here. So it will be much less as compared to what we charge regularly, what we have been charging regularly. And of course, the pricing will go back to normal after a while. So if you want to avail of this offer, you are invited to attend my green belt, black belt, master black belt training, plus also data science, project management, CPHQ, Power BI, AI training sessions, which of course are going to help you in your career. So register for being a green belt or black belt, and I'll be happy to help you. And as I said, a special pricing for your, in your currency, special pricing, I will be happy to show. Till the time, just watch this video, and after that, I will keep answering your questions online, or my team will keep answering your questions. All administration will do.
So I reached out to our operations team and we headed straight here to Formula Rossa, one of the signature rides here at Ferrari World at Abu Dhabi, and we decided to work on how we could increase the reliability of the time it takes to update our queue time boards, because as you know, every minute that guest waits in a queue line is super important.
We had the brainstorming session with the team and we went through a few topics and then we chose the most appropriate one for the course. The chosen topic was reduce facilities management service request closeout time.
So I was eager to use statistics and data analytics to solve a business challenge. One of the challenges we had is the erosion of the retail per capita spend in Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, and that was my topic.
Well, actually, being an HR professional, recruitment lead time has been always a problem across the board. So taking that subject in specific will help me improve onto the recruitment cycle.
So what we had worked on was redesigning the product launch process, which we've now implemented.
We had a discussion within our team, and the most critical area that we faced was our closing process. So we decided among ourselves that this is the one that we should go for.
Yeah, the course that we did was a week-long online facilitated course. It was fantastic. It showed us the whole methodology behind Lean Six Sigma, and it also provided a various amount of tools that we could be able to use to improve all of the existing processes that we have here in the park.
Well, it was 1 week training. It was very interesting and always energetic in terms of interaction in the class. Every single day has been different, and the knowledge sharing has been remarkable.
This gave us a broader perspective to understand the issues, and it gave us opportunity to do some brainstorming, and we were able to come up with better solutions from a wholesome perspective.
It was a very stimulating experience where we met every day with the colleagues, all very engaged, eager to learn, and keen on and willing to actually pause, step back from their day-to-day work to get some new perspectives. So it was really a refreshing exercise.
When an issue comes to us, we try to think about it from a Lean Six Sigma perspective. We try to define the issue. We make a project charter about it. We try to analyze it. So it has changed the perspective of how we look at issues.
Statistics allowed me to understand the root cause of the problem and come up with the very targeted improvement initiatives that we aim at implementing within the year. So every dirham per cap increase would represent 1 million revenue uplifts in a standard year. So the impact can be significant.
Well, this program is in benefit not just for me as a recruiter, but it helps the whole organization in terms of how we can identify issues, how we can look into problems.
So what's really exciting is that since we completed the course and we implemented all of the changes that we worked through, we have 100% seen a decrease in the time that it takes to upload the queue time boards, which is really cool. And one other really exciting thing is that one of the recommendations that the team and I put forward through in our project, for the project I should say, is that has now been funded through the business. So you'll have to watch this space for more. I can't tell you just yet.
I would say satisfaction, quality, and experience. And I say that because my project was focused on how we can improve the product launch. So we wanted to get customers satisfied and improve the customer experience. And we wanted to improve the quality of the products that we were issuing to guests and the overall process that we had within the business to launch new products.
I would say that it has definitely brought consistency to the team, awesome efficiency for sure. And the only other word I can kind of think of is it's brought alignment, not only alignment within the department, but with all of our rides here, also alignment within the business and even with our competitors. So it's a win-win.
I think the biggest personal improvement is giving a framework for doing process improvements. I've always worked in customer experience, and so we're always looking for new ways to how we can improve the customer experience. But the training has now given a framework and a methodology to make sure that we can be consistent and using the best practices to do it.
And data analytics to
Yeah, so now let me also show you the some of the stuff related to some of the related examples of wastes and how to reduce the waste in hospitals. So in lean, you are doing a war on waste. So you're talking about identifying the waste in the processes and identifying those 7 or 8 kinds of waste. And some of the examples, waste is always hidden. So we did it for a hospital here, and this was a Beijing hospital in Beijing. So just to take an example, if when you map the process, you'll find that out of 10 steps, only 2 are value added. The remaining are all non-value added activities. Yeah. It's surprising, right? So some of the nurse calls in the hospitals are related to non-value added activities, or we call it as waste of intelligence. Now, 80% of the nurse calls are related to housekeeping in nature. Oh, my pillow cover is dirty, my bedsheet is not okay. Now, this, if you carefully see, nurses not to take care of these aspects. She's there to give you the medicine and take the monitor the parameters. But if she wastes time or her intelligence in some other activities, it will impact her job, and she will forget to give you the medicines. So try to identify this much of waste. Another example, like once the cardiology program was adding 2 more cardiologists, and the outpatient cardiac diagnostic lab had a capacity of only 8 exams per day. But action was the work was redesigned without adding staff or buying new technology, and in a single day, the capacity was doubled to accommodate 16 exams. In one case, the patients had to wait up to 6 days between the cardiologist exam conducted in the doctor's office and the treadmill exam conducted in the diagnostic lab. After observing the flow of patients from the cardiologist's office to the diagnostic lab, 2 physicians decided to see the patients in diagnostic lab. Patients now make appointments to see the cardiologist there, and the daily schedule for diagnostic exams was changed so patients could get both exams done the same day, and that time reduced from 2,700 minutes to 64 minutes. Similarly, by removing a lot of approval-related steps, a lot of signatures, all these things. Yeah. So there is no exam for today's lecture. There's no exam for today's lecture. You can always get, I am not sure. There maybe my team can tell. You can just get your yellow belt certification. There is an administration fee, very minimal, which is equal to what you'll pay for a cup of coffee or tea or a lunch maybe. Yeah. So it's very, very easy. It's not costly also. So my team will give you the details. If you're interested in the yellow belt certificate, you can apply for that as well. Yeah. So these are some examples that basically you are reducing the wastes in your processes: unnecessary waiting, unnecessary transportation, errors. Person who's not utilized is a waste. Equipment which is not utilized is a waste. Yes, on a funny note, waiting time for the elevator, that also waiting time for the elevator. Can you imagine? There's so much of waste. If you think of cost of elevator wait per day per nurse is $12, and if you have 100 nurses, it becomes $1,250 per day multiplied by 300. It comes to millions of dollars, right? So try to reduce the waste, reduce the waiting time, interruptions, Also, you can apply Pokayoke. Pokayoke means mistake proofing. Even by mistake, you cannot commit a mistake. Like, for example, rice cooker. Even by mistake, it will not burn the rice because it switches off automatically. So you decide, can you put Pokayoke mechanisms? Say, for example, some equipment cannot be operated beyond the normal, safe or maximum levels, right? Some, infusion pumps, they have got this mechanism of Pokayoke. Pokayoke means, in Japanese, it means even by mistake, you cannot commit a mistake. Or foolproofing. Even foolish people cannot commit a mistake. So abnormal values will be automatically rejected, and even by mistake, you will not commit a mistake. Oxygen cannot be connected to nitrogen because the connectors themselves, they are different. There's a Pokayoke. Some more examples of Pokayoke: fixed number of gauge packages during the surgery, complete catheter kits for incision. So don't forget anything, right? Prepackaged medication card with correct dosage so that errors are avoided. So yeah, that was the things. And as I said, some of the projects have been presented in worldwide conferences. One of them was ADNOC project, where we reduced the rig move time. Let me talk about that a little bit.
4 years ago, somewhere in Middle East, one of the largest oil companies took up a Lean and Six Sigma project to reduce the rig move time from 7 days to less than 3 days. By doing so, they would increase their production capability without investing in additional equipment. I'm Amitabh Saxena from Anexas Consulting, and on 2nd of May, in American Society of Quality's World Conference, I'm going to talk about how around 50 people of different nationalities came together to solve a problem which was considered to be very, very difficult. In our journey, we used lots of Lean and Six Sigma tools and techniques, including the change management methodologies and advanced statistical tools. In our 10 years of existence, our company has completed many projects, but this project still stands tall amongst all of them, just like Burj Khalifa. So see you there on 2nd of May in Charlotte in USA.
So that was about, a project, one of the largest oil companies. We have done lots of projects there. And if you would like to become a very valuable company, please join our sessions. And I'll just, we'll play some videos for you as we end our session. I will continue to play some videos. You can stay on if you want, or feel free to close. I'll also take leave, but I'll leave you with some videos. So let me play some videos as we move along. So my team can you play some videos? Maybe 100 seconds, Six Sigma with 100 seconds. We can start with that. Summary of what is Six Sigma. In 100 seconds, how can you, if you were to summarize Six Sigma in 100 seconds, how it will look like. So let us have a look. And
Lean and Six Sigma is an improvement methodology which reduces costs, defects, errors, cycle times, and increases the customer satisfaction, resulting in better efficiency and higher profits. In short, it does whatever a CEO or a shareholders want. It is used in all domains, be it manufacturing, services, oil and gas, IT, construction, banking, healthcare, textile, telecom, BPO, and whatnot. Here, we convert the improvement opportunities in the organizations to projects and train people like you who are working in these processes as green belts and black belts who execute those projects in 5 phases: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. In define phase, we set the direction for improvement by writing a problem and goal statement and forming a project team. In measure, we collect the data and understand how the process is performing. In analyze, we analyze the root causes. We map the process, identify the waste, use cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, graphical analysis, and hypothesis tests. In improve phase, we generate ideas to take care of root causes using lots of tools like brainstorming, mistake proofing, FMEA, etc. And in control phase, we sustain the improvements for a long time by using process management and control charts. To become a black belt, you just need to know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and of course, a lot of fire in the belly. Do I need to tell you that? Of course, it is Anexas where professionalism meets fun and where people fall in love with statistics and process improvement. Well, that's what our clients tell us. And we take pride in telling that we are the best. If you are not doing Six Sigma with us, then you are missing something. The world we have created is the product of our own thinking, and we cannot improve the world without improving our thinking. The long-term chronic problems of manufacturing companies like low productivity, lower machine efficiency, high rework, high inventories, high product wastage can't be solved using only experience, logic and intuition. You might be a good operations person, a good engineer or an excellent operator, but you need to have basic knowledge and understanding of some problem solving and process improvement tools too. Here is how Lean Six Sigma can improve your processes in manufacturing. Lean Six Sigma is defined as a business improvement method that aims to maximize the shareholders' value by improving the quality, speed, customer satisfaction, and reduce the costs. It merges tools and principles from both Lean and Six Sigma to do this. It has become the most popular business strategies for deploying continuous improvement in the manufacturing industries. With its help, you can make sure that only essential steps remain in a process. The moment I say Lean Six Sigma techniques, high quality, low cost, increased profits, and customer satisfaction should automatically come to your mind. It is very rightly said that machines are mere pieces of metal if they cannot be made efficient. Lean Six Sigma helps you to do this. What is the core of Lean Six Sigma? It's DMAC. Yes. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It helps you to reduce the existing problems with unknown causes. Here we train the staff of the manufacturing units as the green belts and black belts, and they convert all the problems into improvement projects. So now the difficulties become opportunities. Then they complete these projects and get certified. It's a win-win for both the organization and the employees. Now, how does Lean Six Sigma decrease the cost? Shijo Shingo said that the most hazardous waste is the waste that we do not recognize. Firstly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on removing the 7 wastes like overproduction, transportation, inventory, etc. from a process. In manufacturing sector, this step can lower the cost of a process by leaps and bounds. Secondly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on solving the problems caused by a process. Here we focus on the processes, not on people, because we believe that 85% of the problems are due to the processes and not due to the people. Defects in your product can cost your organization a fortune. So the focus is on reducing the defects by focusing on the processes. Let me talk about some Lean Six Sigma tools that can be used in manufacturing. Value stream mapping, Kanban, 5S, cause and effect analysis, control charts, DMAC, 5 Whys, Kaizen, hypothesis tests, etc., etc., etc. Let us talk about a few. 5S. A well-organized workplace becomes important if you want to eliminate waste and reduce the errors. 5S is the way to do that. Control charts. By understanding the control charts, you can understand the difference between the common causes and special causes. For special causes, you take immediate action, and for common causes, you take long-term actions. Kanban. It is a visualizing tool on maximizing the flow of goods and work without unnecessary inventory or transportation. Then we have 5 Whys. Ask why 5 times and you will get to the root cause of the problem. Hypothesis tests. They establish the relationship between the outputs and inputs, and you can get the root cause with 95% confidence. Value stream mapping. It is used for defining and assessing the movement of the raw materials from the beginning of the process to delivery to the customer. It is a way in which the current state of a process is documented and the future state is visualized. If you want in-depth knowledge about all the tools and techniques, you can always join my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt training programs. So that was about Lean Six Sigma in manufacturing. I hope you have got a clear picture about why Lean Six Sigma is so important in the manufacturing industry. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on our important updates on the tools and techniques of Lean and Six Sigma and even project management. Happy learning!
I'm Anexas Master Black Belt Amitabh Saxena, and let me talk about importance of Lean and Six Sigma in healthcare. Lean Six Sigma concepts are used in industries all over the world to improve a process, eliminate waste, and reduce defects. In the healthcare industry, defects not only affect revenue and customer satisfaction, but they signify the difference between life and death. Lean Six Sigma is critically important in healthcare because it helps in reducing defects that can result in medical errors. There are so many challenges in the healthcare industry, like an aging population, shortage of workers, increasing litigation, and many more that require long-term improvement. Because healthcare industry deals with saving lives, errors cannot be accepted at any cost. So, how does Lean Six Sigma really help? With the help of Lean Six Sigma, you can shorten the waiting times in hospitals. The lesser the people wait, the efficient the hospitals will become. Reduce medication errors and even try to completely eliminate them. Improve turnaround time for lab results. Provide better care at lower costs. Ensure that the medical staff makes fewer errors. Reduce mortality rates, improve patient care, improve quality, and improve overall patient experience. How can you do that? By training the staff as green belts and black belts and allowing them to do improvement projects. Lean Six Sigma training and certification in healthcare provides the tools needed to address the challenges at various levels. It is a time for the healthcare industry to utilize Lean Six Sigma methods to its fullest and drastically change the healthcare industry for the better. Don't you want to be a part of the industry where patients are happier, physicians want to work for you, the cost is as low as possible, and at the same time efficiency is high? If your answer is yes, then Lean Six Sigma is your choice. We have implemented Lean Six Sigma in more than 25 hospitals worldwide, including ministries of health of 4 countries, and we can help you too.
There are so many stakeholders in construction industry, the customer and the users of your building or construction, the project organization, the contractors, and the staff at the construction site. Lean has something for everyone. Of course, our primary objective is to satisfy the customers, both external and internal, so you can reduce the project delays and quality defects in your organization. You can improve the safety of the employees at the construction site, reduce the inspection times and non-compliances, drastically cut down on the rework resulting from errors. We have even reduced the architectural designing time in many cases to almost 50% of the original time by eliminating the wastes in the process. Once a process has been perfected with the lean methods, there are safeguards as well as checks and balances put into place to ensure that this efficiency continues through the life of a building or structure that has been constructed. In this particular industry, errors mean danger and extremely costly rework using expensive raw materials. So taking the time to eliminate errors before they happen is crucial to the success of any company specializing in constructing any type of building or dwelling. If a construction company is looking to minimize defects, then Lean course can really help the bottom line and make a huge difference. You can even combine it with Six Sigma and make it Lean and Six Sigma implementation to take the advantage of statistical tools also. The employees take up improvement projects after getting trained as green belts and black belts. They focus on identifying and eliminating any unnecessary waste in that particular system. This is one aspect of Lean certification methodology that creates great demand for certified professionals, especially true in the construction industry. A specialized Lean certification in construction will give the employees the tools they need to improve the quality of whatever they are building. Lean is a skill set that all of the leading construction companies in the world know to invest in when it comes to hire their employees. Because this eliminates the errors and also improves the quality, customers start to take notice and become loyal to the brand, knowing that they will always be able to get the best possible building at the lowest possible prices. Companies who utilize Lean methods know the importance of quality, and the quality of their employees are at the top of the list. Certified employees are a resource that construction companies are willing to invest in. This is why salaries of certified individuals are on an average significantly more than the non-certified colleagues. This also improves the overall corporate culture within a construction company. Because of the certified individuals, everyone knows their role and expectations within the company and exactly how teams need to work together to bring about the positive changes. Do share this video with your friends in construction industry and let me know on what topic I should make my next video. I am a Lean and Six Sigma certified Master Black Belt, have implemented Lean in many construction industries and would like to invite you to my Lean construction training programs.